a financial advisor or a life insurance agent, and you know that you should be creating more content, but you feel like it's too time consuming. Well, I've got some good news for you. What if I told you that in just 20 minutes, you could create 10 short form videos that fuel your social media, emails, and even full-length broadcasts? Sounds impossible? Well, I'm about to attempt to prove otherwise. So sit back, relax, and tune into this live episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly.
Welcome to the Digital Advisor Weekly broadcast. Looking to boost your business with the latest trends, innovative tech, and must-have resources? Join us to discover how to successfully scale your practice and automate the process. Here to guide you is your host, the dynamic leader of Advisor Marketing Hub and managing partner at American Financial, Rob Souza.
Hey everyone, Rob Souza here, helping you thrive in the digital age. This week on the Digital Advisor Weekly, we're going to break down a strategy that allows you to create 10 short form videos or video reels in less than 20 minutes. And we can even help you with it. I'm going to attempt, offer me some grace, to do this live. So no scripts, no fancy prep, just real on-the-spot content creation. And if I can do it, then so can you. So let's dive in. Okay, here's the deal. Most financial advisors and sales agents overcomplicate content creation. They think that it takes hours of planning, scripting, and editing, or at least that's what it feels like. But in reality, it's about simplifying the process and using what you already know. Because if you're not consistently showing up with fresh content, you're missing out on engagement online, trust building, and potential clients. People need to hear from you regularly, especially to make sure that you're top of mind. But let's be honest, if content creation feels like a second job, then you will avoid it. That's why I'm about to show you a faster way. All right, let's do this. I'm taking 10 of your suggested comments from last week, from social media posts and from our last week's episode, and we're going to create short form video on the spot. No prep, no scripts, just real improv with actionable advice, hopefully. Now, just a reminder, I'm not a licensed advisor, so if I screw this up, well, remember, you get what you pay for. This is free. Okay, let's see what our producer, Marie, has for us. Shoot it. All right, so at Kurt Arnold. Rob, can you talk about how to beat inflation in retirement? Well, great question, Kurt. Think of your budget like fashion. If you're still wearing the same financial plan from the 1990s, probably wearing neon, then you're probably out of style. So please adjust your strategy on a regular basis. Meet with an advisor so you can make sure you retire in style.
Oh, look. I'm officially retired, boys. Ta-da.
Okay, next. At Elisa Padilla, why is tax-efficient investing important? Well, Elisa, tax advantage accounts are like playing financial hide and seek. If you hide your money in the right place, you will then possibly find it later, and it will be legally and strategically in your advantage. Okay, at the voice of Allison, what's the best way to prepare for an economic crash? Okay, so Allie, an emergency fund, it's like an airbag. You hope you never need it, but in the case of an actual crash, you're glad it's going to be there. So figure out how to save 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. Try to stash it away in an guaranteed interest-bearing savings account, and problem solved. Okay, at Sarah Regis Quest. Rob, I hear a lot about tax-free retirement. What's the secret? Well, Sarah, think of a Roth IRA, like, okay, planting a money tree today, and then you can get tax-free fruit and in retirement. And then the best part is, then you won't have to worry about any sort of insects taking a toll from you later. Okay, got Marketing Marie. What tax law changes in 2025 should I be worried about? You're rushing me. But Marie, tax laws are like weather forecasts. And regularly, you need to know by keeping up if you need an umbrella or sunglasses. So it's important to stay tuned with what is the weather financially and how you can make regular adjustments. Make sure you check in with a tax pro. God, you're throwing me at them quickly. Okay, at J Tango, how do I protect my wealth from market volatility? Okay, Jay, safe haven assets, guaranteed assets are like the comfort food of investing. It's like eating mac and cheese or chicken noodle soup when you're not feeling well on a rainy day. So you're throwing at me. Okay, at Smart Money Now, Rob, can you break down compound interest in a simple way? Man, you're hammering me, Marie. Compound interest is like, okay, I'm going to go back to the garden. It's like planting a garden. Reinvest your earnings or your harvest, the seeds of your harvest from your fruit, and then you can grow trees over time that can develop you an entire orchard of wealth. That's the best I got. At Melanie Fernandez, is my 401k my best investment or my worst mistake? Now that's a good question. Melanie, your 401k, okay, I'll get out of the garden, is like a house. You need to maintain it. Fees and taxes can be like termites if you ignore them. They're not a big deal, but if you ignore them, they can eat away at your foundation and compromise the entire stability of the house. And in this particular case, destroy your retirement. At Working with Frank, what are the biggest mistakes people make in estate planning? Boy, you're making me think fast and on my toes. Okay, so Frank, I'm going to go back to taxes. If you don't plan for taxes in retirement, you're ignoring the biggest threat possible to long-term multi-generational wealth, and you can compromise your entire inheritance if you're not careful. At Sheila Varga, I think that's it. I've got to check, just make sure. Yeah, at Sheila Vergara, can debt be used wisely to actually help build wealth? Yes, I always say leveraging other people's money is the true way to wealth. Absolutely. And debt is kind of like a diet. Too much junk and you're in trouble. But used wisely, you can use it as a tool for long-term wealth. But the key is making sure that you balance your income with your assets and debt. And if you keep a healthy balance, it can be a huge tool that's very powerful. So boom, there you go. I think I did that in less than 10 minutes. And maybe the advice wasn't absolutely great. Maybe it wasn't polished or what you would think is professional, but that's the point that I'm really trying to make in this video. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be polished. What it needs to be is authentic. Your job is to be a financial advisor or a sales agent and not a part-time job in digital marketing. So you've got to figure out a way to capture your normal off-the-cuff responses in as short a time as possible. And we at Advisor Marketing Hub condense it to under 20 minutes once a week and pretty much just interview each advisor and put them on the spot to get that off-the-cuff advice, the same advice they'd get if they were sitting in their office across the conference room table from a client who just asked them a question and they don't have time to rehearse, they don't have a script, you just have to reply. That's the way we want you to create content. If you can answer a question unscripted, off the cuff, then it's going to be more authentic and more believable and more trustworthy than anything you can ever do in a script or a teleprompter or anything else. So don't overcomplicate it. Write some questions. Use FAQs or ChatGPT to come up with the most common questions. If you have to, because you are too nervous to stare into a camera, grab a workmate, team member, wife, or one of your children to ask you scripted questions, and you turn on a camera and just answer them like you would anybody else. So there you go. There you have it. And under 10 minutes. Now, let's talk about how you can turn these video clips into more polished or professional reels without lifting a finger. That's the key, because you have a job to do and it's not marketing. But because I'm going to show you, that's where the real magic happens. So imagine if you had to edit, caption, and post all of these videos yourself. That would take hours. And honestly, that's why most advisors never get around to creating content. But here's the secret. You don't have to do it yourself. What radically changed my business, and I am a marketing director at a family financial advising company, is that we hired a team of virtual assistants. You just need one. And they'll pull your most viewed videos, edit the replays to include branding, and then schedule posts, emails that will promote the content. And this way you can focus on your business while still maintaining a strong online presence with your point of view. Reminder though, don't forget to always encourage your viewers to comment or ask questions. Even if it's a replay, answering those questions later keeps the conversation going and builds trust. You want to invite people into the conversation. You want them to give their opinion about your opinion, and that keeps the conversation going. I'm sure you've seen that on debates going on X or Twitter. But also make sure, maximize your ability to repurpose existing content and then have someone reformat it for the different platforms. I mean, these 10 videos can be turned into LinkedIn posts, blog posts, email newsletter, full-length broadcast episodes even, if you string them together and do them right. You don't need more content. You need to use your content better. And always add a call to action, or what we call CTA. And never post without a CTA. For example, do you want help creating 10 video topics in less than 20 minutes? Book a call with me today, or book later. You get it. It's also important to segment your content for different platforms. A full 30-minute replay may be appropriate for YouTube, but you need to break it up into video clips for like LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. So that it can become digestible and kind of promotional pieces. Finally, in order to keep it as simple as possible, I encourage you to automate your posting with a software like Hootsuite, and use a scheduling software, which Hootsuite can do, but we also have Better Automate, which is our software that's available, does a great job, but posts these videos automatically so that you can focus on what you do best, even if that's being on vacation. but automation can radically change, in combination with a virtual assistant, can radically change your business. All right, it's about time to recap on about how you can create 10 short form videos, hopefully better than I did today, and do it in under 20 minutes a week. I encourage you to be disciplined so that you can focus your time. Pick 10 quick topics. You can use FAQs from clients, or use a software like ChatGPT and ask for the most commonly asked questions or recent news updates that you can respond to. I encourage you, set a timer and record quick off-the-cuff responses. Use a virtual assistant and allow them to help edit and schedule them. Repurpose your content so that you spend less time creating content. And automate your posting and your content so that it keeps working for you no matter where you're working. This method will keep you visible, it builds trust, and it positions you as an authority without you having to take a bunch of extra time where it begins to feel like a part-time job. Now it's your turn. Subscribe to the Digital Advisor Weekly for more actionable tips. Drop us a comment with a topic that you'd like me to cover in a future episode. And if you're ready to streamline your content strategy, let's chat about how automation and a virtual assistant can take it off your plate and automate the process. So, just want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us today. Remember, creating content does not have to be complicated. You need to let go of your inhibitions, and with a simple system in place, automation, a virtual assistant to give you the right support, you can stay consistent in your posting and social content and attract the right clients, the target market you're looking for, and you can make it effortlessly. Until next time, keep building your digital presence, and I will see you in the digital world.